Here are the top posts from Who Would Win on the 29th of October 2019.
Dukes L52. Each Avenger MCU suddenly starts dancing out of their free will. Who can get the most people to join them? Who can get the most passionate dancing out of their squad?
Frisky Spatula. Black Widow all rounds. Other than bonus, she isn't in that group. She is a trained dancer. And she is exceptionally coercive. Getting other people to dance isn't about being charismatic per se. It is about getting other people comfortable with you. You can't tell someone to dance with you. You have to convince them. Monsieur Widow, being a trained spy, wins this one hands down.
Rocket Jumping Toaster. R1. Cap or Tony maybe. They have tons of charisma. I can imagine Thor pulling off some groovy moves since he's 1,500 years old and has probably learned how to dance well. I don't know about the other rounds, but the bonus round definitely goes to Star-Lord. Have you seen this? Glorious deleted from the first movie? Cool Guy 7306. Final round. I would say Star-Lord just because he already loves to dance. I mean, shit. He used it to save the galaxy. Even though no one around him danced, they were all painfully alien, no pun intended, to the idea. Get people who are familiar with it. They'll join in.
Bring it 0 and bitch. Big 3 versus Thanos. I have an ideas. If they get the drop on him, I think that Naruto Karasaki could beat him with his gum-gum jutsu. If not, they'd have a hard time, even in Sage Gear Bankai mode.
The Dark Star. Depending on the kind of fusion, they could possibly beat the mid-tier, weaker 616 Thanos. They would have to scale up to large planetary, though, at least.
Chief Cthulhu. If the fusion of all three only brings him up to planetary, then they ain't standing no chance against Thanos, who regularly smacks around multi-solar to galaxy-level opponent. Also went against a multiversal Odin.
Methlo79. Assume Shiru Emiya did not have Avalon as a catalyst when summoning a servant in Fate. Stay UBW. Who would he summon based on his personality, and how would that they fare? Quarian 9. He's still locked to a saber, so I think the natural summon is Siegfried, who himself wishes to be an ally of justice. There aren't substantial personality differences between him and Arturia, but as a guy, Shiru wouldn't have his save the girl instincts in force. Siegfried's armor of Fafnir would mean he'd have no issue fighting Berserker on the first night, and would tank Gaybolg as well. The armor blocks NPs up to B+, and Gaybolg is B. That also means there's no way for Caster to poach him unless she knows his weak point. Which means she probably gets killed when he fails to stab him during her attack on the bridge. That is if she survives to that point, since he bulldozes through Assassin when Shiru gets kidnapped, since he can just tank the sword hits from Assassin's katana. Archer then never gets an opportunity to defect, which means he and Siegfried are both alive for when Gil comes knocking, which should be a fight they can win. Gil takes Archer more seriously than Shiru, but Siegfried as backup should be good enough for them to win unless he gets really serious. I don't see them having any trouble winning the war, frankly. None of the other servants are suited to pierce his invulnerability besides Archer. The Yellow Ninja 13. I like to imagine him summoning Kiritsugu, Assassin, with Caster summoning Kojiro as Saber class, only to have him still be Guard Dog. I feel like the catalyst for Kiritsugu is stronger than Saber's. House belongs to Kiri. Summoner is Kiri's family. Ideals are Kiri's, and the summoning circle was drawn by Kiri. As for how they do, Kiri would either die to Lancer, or destroy the Holy Grail quickly, having already known of its corruption.
Miriva. Without a catalyst, a servant most compatible with their personality would be summoned, and IRC Nasu said he would have summoned Spartacus without Avalon. Could be wrong. We'll edit later with sources. Edit. It's actually the Fate Apocrypha material book saying they are very compatible, not Nasu. If he did summon Spartacus, he could defeat most servants short of Berserker Heracles, who couldn't be there as Spartacus is already a Berserker, due to Spartacus's insane durability.
Ribble. Weakest D&D party that could take out a planeswalker.
Too legit to quit. Depends on the planeswalker and if the party knows who they are. A ranger or fighter with a bow could snipe the planeswalker from a good distance. In a head-to-head fight, the hardest would obviously be the two dragons. Anyone with multiple removals on one ability. Elspeth, for example, Gideon, and Teferi. Teferi can essentially stop times. If he was inclined, he could freeze time and murder the party. Most other planeswalkers are pretty susceptible to damage. It is highly dependent on the planeswalker. Chandra is just a high-level sorcerer, and could probably be taken out by a two-person level 5 party if one of them had counterspell. Nicol Bolas, on the other hand, is an elder dragon that would need, if the story is anything to go by, a 10-man party of levels 14 to 18 in the help of a level 20 NPC.
Aglova. What does a top-tier deck even do? A quick glance at MTG implies that a top-tier standard deck is all about using Gilded Goose and Paradise Druid to rush out Oko, Nissa, and some big threats. Hydroid Krasis, Wicked Wolf, maybe Questing Beast. But what does that actually mean in terms of what a D&D party would be seeing? The D&D party will easily murder gooses and weak druids when they appear. Does that mean the deck would slow down? How strong are Oko and Nissa in D&D terms? Generally speaking, based on feats, modern planeswalkers are probably about 5th, 7th level wizards. That is, with access to 3rd, 4th level spells. They can throw fireballs, fly, and pull a few specific narrow tricks. But they lack the game-changing powers of high-level magic. So a D&D party of about that range should be able to kill them. Maybe a bit lower given that it's an entire party mobbing one caster.
Zayaski. R1. The deck can't protect the walker, and a low-level party could take them out mid to easy difficulty. Level 5 or lower depending on optimization. R2. I admit, I'm not up to date on the current standard metagame, so I'll pick the strongest standard deck that I ever played against. I know Caw-Blade is better, but I never really got to see that deck. And go with GW tokens from the SOI era. This deck relied on its planeswalkers who summon enemies non-stop, and one of them could buff everyone and attack himself. Roughly about level 10 with a decent party makeup could do it, as long as the wizard and support had crowd control. R3. Now we're talking. The lore planeswalkers are much stronger. Yugen and Bolas would probably need full level 20 parties that were optimized for the Monsieur. Chandra is capable of burning out the atmosphere on a planet if she feels threatened enough, but that moves kills her too. Jace would mindfuck just about anyone that didn't have high enough resistance, and Gideon is literally invulnerable without some Bokaz level hacks. Liliana, and Nissa, and every other walker for that matter can just hop dimensions if they need to escape, so at the very least you need to be able to do the same. Level 15 plus I'm guessing, and it'll be high difficulty. Bonus R4. Pre-mending lore walkers like Urza and Yawgmoth were gods and conquered or protected multiple dimensions easily. None of the walkers from this era will go down without multiple wish level hacks from the party. They all essentially had limitless mana and lived forever, so everyone schemed and plotted regularly, and had fallbacks on top of fallbacks. Irk Urza only died to feed into his plan to beat Yawgmoth, and Teferi literally caused the mending that nerfed all subsequent planeswalkers.
Muhammad Sairif, Khabib Nurmagomedov vs Georges St. Pierre.
IUTDIYTD. Early GSP lost to Matt Hughes in 2004. Khabib made his UFC debut in 2012. He beats early GSP who had to muscle through Karo Parisyan. Prime GSP probably jabs Khabib's face off a Josh Koscheck. He did that to pretty much everybody. Current GSP should probably win too, but that's just how I feel based off the tools he has.
Niambutigun on TTV. This could go either way. GSP is a better all-around fighter, but Khabib has a way to get people to the ground, and then ground and pound them for 5 minutes. Conor won a round versus Khabib. GSP could absolutely win rounds versus Khabib. This is a 50-50 as I can think.
Skip chest day not legs. GSP wins all except maybe debut. This is due to the fact that GSP is stronger, faster Khabib. Khabib has the edge in wrestling, but not by a large enough margin to offset GSP's other advantages. GSP's precise striking and grappling skills are elite. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.